Now we'll move on to the letter th. Th. And as we can see here, th is represented in its printed format. Th, independent. Th, initial position. Th, medial. And th in its final position. So let's start practicing writing th. Th, independent. We do tooth, a line to the right, and a tooth. And unlike ta and ba, th has 3 dots on top of it. Th. Th in the initial position is going to be the same as ta and ba except for the dots. So we do a tooth, go down to hit the line, and then we go right. And 3 dots on top. Th. Th in the medial position, we start with a tail, tooth, tail, and 3 dots on top. And finally, th in its final position, the same as the independent except for a tail before it. So we do a tail, tooth, line, tail, and 3 dots on top. Th. Let's practice writing th in some of the words. Let's start with the word Fabit. Fabit. So the first sound is th. Th. 3 dots. Fabit. So we need aleph. So we connect th to the aleph. We go up. Fabit. Bit. So after the aleph there is ba. Fabit. And aleph does not connect to the letter after it, so we write ba in its initial position. Ba and dot below. Fabit. And the last sound is ta. So we write ta in its final position. Go tooth, a line, tooth, and 2 dots on top for the ta. Fabit. Fabit. How about the word Deathbet? Deathbet. So the first sound is ta, initial. So we do a tooth and a line and 2 dots on top for the ta. Deathbet. Deathbet. So the ta is followed by tha, and this tha in its medial position. So we do a small line, a tooth, and a line, and 3 dots on top for the tha. Teth, teth, bet, bet. So we need ba, and it's also in the medial position. So we do a tooth up, and go to the right a little bit, and 1 dot below. Teth, bet, and the last letter is ta in its final position. So we do the smiley face. And 2 dots on top. Teth, bet. Teth, bet. How about the word athath? Athath. The first sound is a. So we have a, initial. Start right here and we go down. Athath. Athath. So aleph is followed by tha. And aleph does not connect to the letter after it, so we need to use the tha in its initial position. So we do a tooth, and we go to the right, and 3 dots on top. Athath. We need another aleph. Athath. So we connect this tha to another aleph. Athath. And the last sound is also tha in its final position. But we don't need to put that tail here because it's an aleph, and the aleph does not connect to the letter after it. Athath. So we need tha in its independent position. Do a tooth, a line, tooth, and 1, 2, 3 dots. Atheth, which means furniture.